That's good. Let's check restream. Okay. Streaming is good. All looks good. Okay, now let's put up the... All right, folks, welcome to our Wednesday night series, and tonight we are at the base at Coronado for the Andrel 125 Race the Base. I'm Rick Souza here with Noah Evans on the IWM Broadcast Network for tonight's coverage of the IWM Cup Series. Noah, it's going to be a wild race here in Coronado.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's obviously really neat to see a racetrack like this. It really is one of a kind. We've seen it done before with IndyCar at Cleveland and a couple other different tracks like this, especially down at Sebring. But this is a whole new venture for NASCAR, an active military base, and all different types of services here, old concrete, new concrete, old and new asphalt. I mean, heck, you're racing right in front of an aircraft carrier. So this is going to be a really fun race tonight. These guys are going to be in it for the long haul, though. 30 laps here. It takes just about 2 minutes. So these guys are going to have a really fun time ripping around this almost 3-mile road course here, street course.
Well, we certainly looking forward to our race, but we'd be remiss if we didn't send a shout out to Lorraine. That's John Ledger's mom, who's been a faithful viewer really since the beginning of our broadcasts. Lorraine always chimes in and wishes not only John and his team well, but all the racers out there. So I know Lorraine's been a bit under the weather, and we certainly wish her well and let her know that our prayers are with her as she fights her journey. So Lorraine, we're thinking about you, and you're in our prayers. All right, we'll be watching the Ledger car going around. He's actually parked on pit road at the moment. Our pit camera is out there right now, but we'll right now the drivers are currently ripping around this track as we get done with practice. Practice just about a minute or so away, and then we'll go into qualifying. Now, qualifying here is, like all road courses, is not the same as a normal oval. It's about 10 minutes long because this track is long. I don't have a good track map, but we can bring up what we do know. Let's see if we can bring this up. All right, this is a 16-turn street course that takes us around the joint base at in San Diego at Coronado, and it's got some very cool images.
Yeah, it really does, and you can just see the variety that this place has. You have hairpins down at turns 2 and 3, and then the really flowy part of this racetrack through 8 and 10. That's such a tough section there. We've seen a lot. There's a lot of blind spots on this racetrack as well. We saw a big pile up in the Xfinity Series, the O'Reilly Series race on Saturday, and an exciting win by Corey Hahn. But one thing these guys are really going to have to be careful for tonight is their tires. There's obviously the transition to about 4 different surfaces here. So that concrete's going to eat your tires up, but as soon as you get back on that asphalt, you can kind of just let it rip. So these guys are really going to have to make that hard decision whether to push early on and go for stage points or try to save their tires early on and go for the win.
All right. And besides that, just taking us through, let's just take a quick look at as qualifying comes to, as practice comes to an end. Let's take a quick look at the at what we've got for tonight's event.
Yeah, so 3 tire sets tonight. These guys are going to have to save them. Not very many for this kind of road course, and when we were talking about the surfaces here, so there's really going to be some strategy to that. Obviously, 75% fuel limit. These guys should be good on about 1 stop, maybe a 2 stop, possibly. We'll see how that plays out as the night goes on. 105 track temperature here. It's San Diego. It's going to be obviously blazing hot, but this is really going to affect how these cars are going to drive here. It's going to be slick. These cars are going to be all over the place, so these guys are really going to have to be careful, especially in the hairpin corners. Keys to tonight's event, obviously qualify well. We saw a couple of new drivers get out there and set down some good times. Patience. This is a really long road course. You have a lot of time to go out there and make some moves happen, so you've got to be patient. And last but certainly not least, survive the bumps. Look, this place goes over a road course. You just saw Matthew David Wood in the background there get airborne, just like we saw on Sunday. So just surviving this event is going to be the main thing. It's what Corey Hahn did. He just was there at the end. So it's going to be a I think an exciting race tonight. We were just talking about the fuel window, 14 to 16 laps. So just about after 4 laps after the stage break. So these guys should be good to go after that.
So yeah, that's part of the challenge. So we do have a stage break at lap 10, so they'll be perfectly fine with fuel and tires to get the stage break. They'll all come in, refuel, retire themselves. That puts you at lap 24 to 26. Now with a 30-lap race and no cautions, you're going to have to come back in at some point to top off for fuel, but that's pretty easy to do. And if you're doing well, that's pretty simple. But if you're in the mix of things, coming in off the track to refuel, that could be a challenge.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough event tonight. We've seen a lot of guys make some mistakes, and fortunately, this track has a little bit of runoff here. But when you get into 8, into 9, especially down through 14 and 15, this track is really tight. So there's not a lot of room for error in those sections, but especially through the flowy sections, you're going to have a little bit of wiggle room to work with. So we just wrapped up practice, like we just said a moment ago. Let's talk about some drivers that we've been watching so far and are new to the IWM Cup Series. Logan Clampett, a former eNASCAR Coke Series driver. He will be piloting tonight the number 67 machine in place of Pete Tart. So good to see Logan Clampett making his INRS debut. Keaton Tripp, another driver who we've are keeping an eye on as well. He's in place of the 63 machine. He'll be making his debut as well tonight. Another driver, Ty Bostic, making his return to the INRS Cup or the IWM Cup Series in the 22 machine. Good to see Ty back after a little bit of a hiatus. He's got a really neat paint scheme there on the number 22. Kind of a throwback to the Skyline from, I believe that is Fast and Furious. So good to see Boston back as well. And Brad Peters driving the number 55 for Nathan Yarnell. We'll see what those drivers can do as they make their debut tonight.
Yeah, Brad Peters just spun a little bit on his qualifying.
Good thing this track is, he can just restart. I don't even think he got to the main lap yet.
All right, let's see if we got any times posting. Not yet. We're still waiting for those times to begin to populate. Again, 16 turns, just over 3.3 miles around this giant street course. The drivers, again, have 10 minutes to qualify and get their laps in. There's already 4 minutes in so far. So I guess there's probably a number of drivers who are just going to brave it, and they'll start where they start and go from there.
Yeah, I would be shocked if a lot of these guys just try to start from the back here. It's a long road course. You're going to be able to make your way up to the front, but I'm excited to see who kind of goes where. But right now it is Logan Clampett, the man up in front with a 2:08.274. Best time in practice for practice session 1 was a 2:07.3 by Matthew David Wood in the 21. So qualifying still getting underway here. It is Clampett, Tripp, Thomas, Paleshi, Smalley so far. We still have about 13 or 14 cars left to qualify.
Yeah, we're about halfway through. Well, let's talk about where we are points-wise in this series.
Yeah, Kyle Smalley, a really good run at Pocono last week, a very well-needed run for him. Unfortunately for Matthew David Wood, he did not get the run that he needed. His race ended on about lap 15, so he did not get any really points from that last race. Thomas, Wish, and all had really good runs there as well. And so far, Smalley looks to be pulling away with it later on here, but that gap has shrunk just a little bit with some good runs by Wood. And he's going to be needing one of those today, seeing if he can take advantage of Smalley's qualifying position right now in the 6th place spot. So you take a look at the win count now, 3, 5, 2, 2, and 1. And Jeremy Brown, the lone one winner this season. But Kyle Smalley, he's been putting on a clinic these last couple of races, 127 stage points. And I feel like a lot of those guys are going to be going for those coveted stage points tonight.
Yeah, and the kind of the focus of our look at the chase standings kind of shifts a bit from those top five to those guys who are trapped there in the middle. You see Michael Anthony, 395 points, Jeremy Brown, 388, Zach Lindgren and Chuck Van Scoik both tied at 374, Justin Lewis 368 right there, and then we go down to the J.R. Houston, Casey Herschel, Calvin Allison, Bostic, Weaver. Those are the guys in the last 4 or 5 positions, and they're within a point or two
Yep.
Of losing those positions. Or the same goes for like Brian Jones and Nathan Yarnell. Those guys are just outside of that top 16, and we've only got 9 races to go.
Yeah, you can see Yarnell 5 points back from that last place spot. Jones just 2 back from it. So both of those guys in the bottom there, Jones and Yarnell, looking to get those runs. Unfortunately for the 55 machine, he's not here tonight. We just talked about him. He's filled in by the driver of the 55 machine tonight, and that is the Brad Peters machine, yep, who's out qualifying right now. So Yarnell going to lose out on some points, but obviously we're still looking at that battle from 15th on down. Bostic, good thing that he's back tonight. He's going to save that spot there. Obviously he still has a chance to make the chase here, but Andrew Pileshi, we won last week. Obviously he's sitting with 2 wins right now, very comfortably inside that top 16 spot there. He's going to look to try to go for another win tonight, try to go back-to-back. He's second in qualifying, and he really has turned the jets on. Him and everybody else with the team with the number 91, they've done an excellent job these last couple of weeks here, turning the jets on. Everybody at Elite Motorsports has done, at 1320 Enterprises has really turned on the jets.
Just looking at a quick peek at our schedule we've got coming up, obviously here in the Andrel 250 here at the tail end here of June. I can't believe it's June already. From here, the crew heads to Sonoma for the Toyota Save Mart 175, and then we're back at some ovals at Chicagoland, and as we head towards and march towards the chase, that chase is going to be on us before we even realize it.
Yeah, Chicagoland, Atlanta, North Wilkesboro, Indianapolis. Obviously, you see Dover there, and a lot of a huge variety of racetracks here. Going from Wilkesboro to the Brickyard is at Indianapolis. That's a huge breakneck of speed there, and we're going to go obviously to the Concrete Mile of Dover. Really good variety of tracks here. It's really going to test how hard these guys are going to race towards the end and how bad that they want it. So it's going to be a really fun one here as we get down to the chase.
All right, practice qualifying is wrapping up. About 30 seconds left to go in qualifying. See who's still on the track. Chuck Van Scoik is still on the track, trying to better his time. Right now he's back middle pack, somewhere about 15th, trying to improve that. And that's it. Qualifying is over here. So as soon as we get the grid, we will bring that to you. Still waiting on that. Again, thank you all for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of the IWM Cup Series. Certainly, we couldn't do it without your participation in what we do. So we certainly appreciate you tuning in. All right, we have a grid. Let's go ahead and get started, Noah.
All right, let's go ahead and get it started here. Logan Clampett grabs his first pole position tonight. To his outside, it'll be Matthew Wood looking to rebound after last week at Pocono. Andrew Pileshi, last week's winner, will be on row number 2. He'll be starting third, and Keaton Tripp will be starting in the 4th position. Row number 3 is going to be Walker Thomas, and a great road course effort for Justin Lewis in the number 7 machine. He'll start 6th. Row number 4 is going to be the driver of the number 85 machine, Zach Lindgren. To his outside, it's Kyle Smalley in the 51, looking to further his points lead. Rounding out the top 10 is the 17 machine of Jared Wisham, and Brad Peters, another driver making his debut, will round out the top 10.
All right, starting in row 6, you've got Roberto Ramirez in 11 with Casey Herschel to his outside. In row 7, Michael Anthony is there in the 14, and he has Maxwell Caldwell in the 94. In row 8, Chuck Van Scoik, and in 16 is Ty Bostic. In row 9, we've got Christoph Hall and Brian L. Jones. And in row 10, we've got John Ledger and Sammy Harrell.
Looking back through the rest of this field is Aiden Lucas in 21st and Aaron Jackson in at 22nd. Looking back at row number 12, it's Jeremy Brown in the 46th and Jordan Weaver in 24th. 25th is J.R. Houston, and 26th is the number 8 of Maurice Burnett. 27th is Bud Shearer in the 93, and 28th is Marco Berube. And rounding out the rest of this field, the number 54 machine of David Watts in 29th.
All right, that is our grid for tonight's event as the pace car begins to lead this field from that starting position. Let's see if we have a track map for tonight. Oh my gosh, yes we do. I'm laughing because we don't, in new tracks like this, we don't always get a track map. And I want to thank the folks over at SDK, which is the developer of a lot of the software you see that we use to bring this broadcast to you in a professional manner. They scrambled to put together a track map for tonight's event. They didn't have it for last week, but they certainly got it here just a few days later, and we were able to bring that to you tonight.
So Matthew David Wood will take the inside row here, alongside Logan Clampett filling in for Pete Tart in the Elite Motorsports number 67 machine. And what a run for these guys here. All the drivers in their debut starting on pole position, obviously, is Clampett. Then you have Tripp on row number 2. He'll be starting 3rd. And farther back, looking in the the 9th place spot is Brad Peters. It's a couple of new drivers filling in here tonight. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how these guys handle this field. A lot of these guys haven't really been around this series. They've been around the Coke Series a whole lot. And obviously some very high I ratings in this field. But it's going to be interesting as we get down to the stage break, what these guys are going to go for. Obviously, we may have a Corey Heim kind of situation. Yeah, you're out of points contention. But heck, why not go for it? You got the opportunity to get a win in front of you. But these two here, Clampett and Wood, I have a feeling these guys are going to try to take off from this field the best that they can and just try to build that gap further and further as the night goes on.
Yeah, with the stage break coming around lap 10, that will certainly put these drivers in a very unique position here. Typically a road course with iRacing, if you just run it traditionally, a lot of leagues don't put a stage break in. This league is trying its best to do what they can to mimic what happens on Sunday, and by doing so, we introduced a stage break here. So that should be an interesting factor here.
Lap 10 is our stage break tonight, and you can just see how tight it gets through there. I mean, you can barely fit 2 cars through there. It's such a tight section on this racetrack through turn 7 and 6. Especially that little straightaway there going through 8, 9, and 10. These guys are really going to have to be on their P's and Q's here and really listen to their spotters here. Obviously, you just have the AI iRacing spotter, but those guys on Sunday had multiple spotters having to watch over this racetrack, and thankfully with the power of iRacing and the power of the AI spotter, we just get to have one the whole time.
Taking a look at it from the inside of the Matthew David Wood vehicle. As this field kind of makes their way to bring up my own map of this track so I can figure out just where they are all the time. Okay. So they're just coming through the chicane headed down Runway Road, which parallels a lot of the runways here at Coronado. Getting one of these joint bases where you've got multiple services all on the same base. Coming to this sweeping turn, that's turn 13 here. That takes them around, and then they'll get into a sharp right-hander. This is turn 14 as we make our way towards the start-finish line.
"30 laps will be the distance tonight as they head down through the final chicane here at Coronado, and a first for the IWM Cup Series and for NASCAR as well, as we head for the first time not only to a street course but to an active naval base here. A lot of different surfaces, a huge learning curve for these guys. They've been practicing pretty much all week for this, and all that practice is leading up now to the final couple hundred yards before the start-finish line here at Coronado. It's Logan Clampett and Matthew David Wood leading us off through the final turn 16, through the restart zone, and we are green here at Coronado.
Barreling into the first corner, it's going to be tight as these drivers begin to feel each other out. Contact with that safer barrier for a number of drivers.
Yeah, Michael Anthony and Casey Herschel really smacked the outside wall there. Looks like the 14 machine definitely has some heavy damage. They're really slow going into turn 2. They'll definitely have to make an unscheduled stop, unfortunately. But looking back up to the front of the field, Tripp has found his way to 4th. It's pretty much has stayed the same. Wood has found himself in the lead now. As, gosh, look how close they get to the inside wall there. Really trying to cut off any time on this track that they can. Such a tight racetrack here. Really no room for error.
Matthew David Wood has that clean air out in front, but Logan Clampett is right there on his tail.
Yeah, Clampett really not going to try to let him get away with this, and he really just wants to be able to control the pace of this race here. But don't look too far back. Andrew Pileshi still very competitive here at that Engine 91. He has really found a stride here early on in this race. We'll see if he can hold on to it towards the end here, as Clampett really looking aggressively here to try to get by the 21.
Matthew David Wood letting it all hang out as he works his way around to try and stay out in front as he comes into the chicane.
Clampett doing everything he can here to try to get by him. You can see him, he's just kind of feeling the 21 out, trying to see where his break-in zones are going to be. See where he can finally pounce, and looks like he may have found it there. No, thinks better of it. We'll try to get him back down here through the final sector.
Yeah, these guys really did pretty well coming through that chicane. They're kind of gapped the field just a little, not a whole lot, but there's a little bit there, kind of separate themselves as our first lap comes to a close. All right, solid racing here with Matthew David Wood and Logan Clampett. Right there, Andrew Pileshi, Keaton Tripp, Walker Thomas, that's your top 5. Looking back through the field, John Ledger may have had a little bit of an incident here. Looking back to find John, he's good.
Pass trying to get done for the lead here. Clampett really feeling it out now. Clampett really pushing that car really loose there out of 7.
He's trying to find exactly that spot. Coming up, they've got a right-hand turn coming up. 21 has the position here, but he's got that 67 right there who now takes it away. Guys, door to door here as we come into the Coronado chicane.
Like all that waiting might have paid off for the driver of the 67 machine. So now that he has this early on in this race, road course racing, you really want to try to get this lead early. That way you get to control how fast this race goes, control the pace of it, really try to figure out how fast everybody else is going to run, how fast everybody else is going to push their car to the absolute limit there. As you can see, Wood goes a little bit wide there through the corner, and now that's going to open up the door for Pileshi to try to get a run.
Solid racing though, with Wood, Pileshi, and Tripp right there, all within a car length or two of your leader, Logan Clampett. As Keaton Tripp tries to work his way around and gets by the 91 of Andrew Pileshi.
Yeah, good run for Keaton Tripp here in that 63 machine. Another fill-in driver. Doing a great job here. Looks like Ty Bostic has a slowdown penalty. It's so hard to not cut the corners here on this racetrack. It's so hard to do. You can see a couple cars into the front straightaway wall back there. They'll try to give it a little bit of that spot. I mean, that spot right there, little kink going down into turn 2. We saw a huge accident there on Saturday with Xfinity Series. Multiple drivers, really hard contact, about broke the wall over there as well. Saw it in the Cup Series as well, and it's been a bit of a heel for a lot of these guys. And right now, Logan Clampett really making the most of it here, really starting to drive the 67.
Yeah, you'll see this from the shots. These cars will catch air in at least one spot on this track here, but yeah, there's definitely able to get all 4 tires off the ground. All right, 67 of Logan Clampett continues to lead here at Coronado in the Andrew 125 here, Race the Base. Thank you all for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of this event here within the IWM Cup Series. We will not have any race tomorrow night. Well, INRS will be racing tomorrow night. We won't be covering. They'll be in Sonoma, but we will pick up next Thursday when they return to racing on the IWM Broadcast Network at Chicagoland. You know, I'm really impressed with Matthew David Woods. He is right there on the bumper of Logan Clampett.
Yeah, he's really starting to hang with the driver of the 67 machine, and you can see just how close they get to that wall there. Going through the little hill there, you can see those cars, they pick up an RPM, so they definitely hit the jump there.
Try looking back through the field a bit. Yeah, seeing Sammy Harrell, he has got some nose damage already on that 43, as well as the car in front. That's Aiden Lucas. He's got some right side damage on that 34.
It looks like we completely missed a spin on lap 3. It looks like this was going into turn 12. Harold just kind of biffed the corner. We'll see if we can find a replay of it. He just completely missed the turn 12 corner. Let's see if we can find it here. Yeah, so here's the 43 of Harold. So heads into the braking zone and just kind of loses it.
Yeah, there's that contact.
And then the 12 gets into him.
Doing everything he can to avoid, and then here comes, I think this is Aiden Lucas behind him.
Glad I looked back in my replay for that. Otherwise, I would have completely missed it.
Number of drivers in the pits right now. That's Brad Peters and John Ledger, both in the pits at the moment.
They're not quite sure what happened with the driver of the 55 machine.
Brad Peters.
It didn't look like he hit anything.
back through our telemetry, see if there's anything up with that. We may have to go all the way back. No, I don't see anything in our telemetry that will tell us just what happened to Brad, but obviously he's in the pits. So you can see just what we can see from our vantage point here. Not a lot. He's just in the pits.
Yeah, he hit the tire barriers going into the last chicane, but I don't see how that would have gotten him very heavy damage. So 55 in the pits, but it's all 67 up in front with Logan Clampett.
So over the course of the fact we've run 5 laps, this field has begun to string itself out. 29 cars in tonight's event, strung out all over this track, as you can see by those little gray dots up on the track map. And that first car that the 67 will encounter as he's making his way around will eventually be the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik, who finds himself the last car on the lead lap. '67 and the 21 about to enter. I guess it's really just a little must stop here. I think it's part of turn 14. Or maybe it's 14 and 15.
A lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers, absolutely. All right, the leaders are coming up on, I think, the 55 right now of Brad Peters, who just came out of getting some repairs made out of the pits, and he's now got the leaders behind him. He is not on the lead lap. I think he's 1 lap down as he lets the leaders go by. 2 laps down now.
Looks like Clampett got some front end damage.
I don't know.
The left front looks like, yeah, he hit the wall coming out of the final turn just a lap ago here, coming to lap 6. Tapped the inside wall there, so he has a little bit of left front damage, at least on the body work.
Yep, yeah, I think you're right. Well, I will say that in the last update with iRacing, when they released this track and made a number of updates, they really made some changes, I think, to the damage model of this car.
Yeah, I think so too.
Those toe links are much more fragile.
Yeah, it just looks like some body damage there. I mean, it really isn't affecting his pace very much at all. I mean, heck, you can take a look at the gap between Wood and Tripp in the 63. It's almost 8 seconds.
That really is remarkable.
Yeah.
Matthew David Wood just 1 second off, the pace being set by the 67 of Logan Clampett. Just 4 laps or so away from our stage break here. Now they're getting into some traffic here. I think they're coming up on a number of cars at 99, and Berube is there. I think David Watts are going to encounter. Mentioned Jordan Weaver as well. So there's a little bit of traffic that these leaders are going to have to work their way carefully through to get around, and then of course not lose any time. And Marco Berube basically saw them coming and said that's one of the things we've always talked about the sportsmanship and just basically said, you know what, I'm not going to hold up these guys. I'm going to get out of the way. That's 23 of Chuck Van Scoik right there. And then Goat Racing's Matthew Wood right there gets by as they come up to the 54 of David Watts.
Yeah, good sportsmanship by these lap cars
67
here,
got really. So he had to really. Let's see if I can replay that.
I don't know how. I heard metal scrape. It didn't look like he touched the wall. I mean, he did just barely.
I can't. Let's see if I can find that.
I mean, from what I can hear, his car is hitting the wall. It just sounds like sheet metal scraping.
We'll go on board and ride for a while with the 67 with Logan Clampett. He is very aggressive and very solid. Here, the tire squeal is really laying it out there.
Well, I mean, you look at it here. He's not in points contention right now. There's 3 laps to go in the stage. I mean, he really can just kind of let it all hang out here. Just try to go for it. Excuse me, 2 laps to go to the stage, actually. He is just pulling away from.
Really see just how bumpy this track is.
Yeah, it's a rough surface for sure, and it really is going to take a toll here on these tires. I mean, look at the dip right there. It's really going to take a toll on these tires as the race goes on. But hey, we got a couple laps to go in this till the stage end here. So you really, at this point, can kind of just let it go because you know at that point everybody's going to go stop for fuel and tires.
That's a little contact right there with the wall. Sorry, just having a whole lot of fun just riding along with Logan Clampett there as he leads here at Coronado in the Andro 125 Race the Base here in the IWM Cup Series. For those of you who are tuning in live, we certainly appreciate you joining us tonight in our broadcast. If you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and clicking that subscribe button there and joining our IWM broadcast family, we certainly appreciate that. We thank you. A couple of drivers in the pits, Casey Herschel and Jordan Weaver making his way onto pit road. As this stage break is beginning to come now with just 2 laps to go before this stage break here at lap 10. You can really see them grab some air right there down on that bump.
Oh yeah, I mean that's all 4 tires off the ground there.
Well, Logan Clampett continues to lead. Let's jump back. There's Matthew Wood, who's just about a 1.5 seconds behind. Kind of take you through the field here with drivers. Behind Matthew is Keaton Tripp, currently sitting in 3rd. And Andrew Paleschi, currently 4th in the 91. Behind Andrew, you've got the 85 of Zach Lindgren. Sporting a new paint scheme tonight.
Yeah, 85 having a great run so far there. Walker Thomas as well. He's back in the 6th place spot there. All those guys kind of running their races here. Trying to stay conservative, see if they can pull off a decent top 10 here tonight. Kyle Smalley, very uncharacteristic of the 7 to be. I've got some smoke up there. here in a road course.
Andrew Plushy now is falling back. Something has happened to Andrew. He's now must have spun a bit. He kind of saved it, but he's currently right back, falling back a little bit farther.
Yeah, he locked the brakes up there.
Yeah.
In turn 6. I mean, I don't know how he didn't hit the wall, but he certainly locked it up. Here's a replay. Here's 91. That's the blue car in front. Gets down into turn 6. It's like car doesn't want to turn. And somehow barely touches that wall.
Wow.
It's a good thing he got it slowed down. There's no damage on the front end of that machine. Matthew David, what a big send here. Into turn 1. Down to 3. Let's see this battle for first here. This is for the stage win. Wood really starting to get aggressive here on the final lap. Oh, he hit the wall.
Yeah, he's got some nose damage on that 21. But they have just gapped the field by almost 15 seconds here. And there you
Caution. Yep.
That's our stage. Stage break comes out here at lap 10. Really, it's been all Logan Clampett here. And he has led a number of laps here. Let's bring up that lap information. He's led out of these 10 laps, he's led 9 of the last 10 laps. Matthew Wood, the only other leader. But also, we don't want to lose sight of Keaton Tripp here in the 63. We've seen a number of drivers here in the 63 this year. Really, they've put together a good. I guess that's Nathan. He has put together a great roster of drivers who have come in and been able to backfill into that position. So Nathan Carroll is the primary car driver, but then Christian Elliott has been there for him. We've seen Christopher Howell in the car, and now tonight we're seeing Keaton Tripp.
He's doing a great job filling in for sure. Stage ends here, so we will stack him, re-rack him. One incident we did.
Go ahead.
One incident we did miss here was on, I believe it was lap 6 here. Casey Herschel really hurt that number 49 machine. He was sitting in 13th place spot. Happened in turn 12. We've seen it there. Really destroyed the front end of that car. You see him on pit road. See if we can go back and find it here. There's the 49 machine.
No, he's already wrecked it from there. Let's back it up, see if we can see just what actually happened.
It looks like he hit the wall somewhere up there. It looked like right there. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so let's see if we can take a look here. There's the 49. Oh! And just a bad overdrive there. Car just did not do what he wanted it to do.
No, and that car is going to be in for repairs for a significant amount of time. There's a lot of damage. I could be wrong, but I thought I just saw the 67 blink for a little bit there.
Like just for a second.
All right, so the stage points results are in. Logan Clampett wins the stage with Matthew David Wood in second. Keaton Tripp in third with Zach Lindgren in fourth. Walker Thomas in fifth. Kyle Smalley in sixth with Andrew Pileshi in seventh. Jared Wishin in eighth. Justin Lewis in ninth. And Roberto Ramirez in 10th. Speaking of our leaders and our points leaders, let's just see where they are. Our championship top 5 on track right now. Kyle Smalley currently leading the points, but he's back in P6. Wood is in second. Walker Thomas currently in 5th, with Wishin in 8th and Paleshi in 7th.
Really spread out, these guys here. So Smalley obviously looking for a good recovery here, but Wood, he's really rebounding here from last week at Pocono. You know how good the 21 machine is on road courses. Looking to grab some good points here tonight if he can get by Clampett.
My guess is that this time by, everybody that is eligible will be on pit road, and they'll get full tank of Sunoco fuel as well as 4 brand new tires. Certainly take that opportunity to do a reset, and then we'll reset up all together and get this race refired. All right, let's just take a look here. Number of drivers who are now laps down: Chuck Van Scoik, Marco Berube, David Watts. Then obviously a number of drivers will tick up. Bostic is out, as well as Herschel and Lewis. Aiden Lucas all have retired. I don't envy these drivers. This is a super challenging track.
Yeah, it's tough, and I ran some laps a little while ago. I still couldn't figure it out. I don't claim to be a road course aficionado in any way. I'm somewhat decent on them, but not really my personal favorite track. But gosh, this place is hard to race on.
Number of drivers chose to stay out. They're on their own pit cycle. If I go back to Chuck Van Scoik, he chose. I think he gets the lucky dog, so he'll get his lap back, and he'll race to get back around and get that car through his pit stop. So he takes that opportunity. That means everybody is now on pit road. I think that's Andrew Paleshi, who was there for a little bit longer, getting a little bit of service done. Number of drivers doing the exact same thing. We saw Michael Anthony hit the wall pretty hard. So a number of drivers are taking the opportunity, since it is a long way around this track, to get and stay in the pits for an extended period of time to get some repairs made. That is a benefit to a road course like this, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you got about, a 4 or 5 minute pace lap time here, so you got plenty of time to be able to do it here. And heck, we're only 3 laps away from halfway through this.
That's right. So if you got a lot of damage, it's going to be 2-3 minutes in the pits. Take it, because by the time they get all the way around, you could get a good bit of that damage repaired. I get a shot of what's happening. There's I think that's Michael Anthony. He's getting work done. You see Sammy Harrell in the pits. We saw him with some nose damage. See Marco Berube leaving the pit road with David Watts. John Ledger is still in there trying to get some repairs made. Jeremy Brown is also in there trying to get some repairs made. J.R. Houston is back there as well, doing the exact same thing. He's been there for a couple minutes. Pretty much my guess is once Logan Clippett gets to be about the halfway point, these guys will turn themselves loose and they'll get back out there.
Looking forward to it. Pace car lights are still on, so we will go back one more time.
Yeah,
Back around.
that's a challenge that not only we face here, covering it with the IWM broadcast network, but NASCAR does as well. It started out at COTA. Man, there was so many complaints about, the stage cautions at COTA when it first hit the circuit.
Yeah, I think at some point you'll see NASCAR either take away stage breaks from the from road course racing overall. I think personally, I think stage breaks should be taken away from pretty much most of it, just to make the strategy more interesting and kind of bring it back to how it used to be. But these pace laps, yeah, these guys really kind of having to stay patient under these, and looks like we'll burn one more here before lights go off. But yeah, it gives you an opportunity. You really can save fuel here, just kind of coast it around and stick it in a high gear and just try to take it easy. So can be a blessing, can be a curse at times.
Well, I mean, at this point, they're going around one more time. If you're in the pits, you saw Chuck Van Scoik. He made it all the way around, got his lap back. He's on pit road now. He'll probably stay in the pits as long as he can to get any repairs made that he can before he has to get back out. And he'll race around at full speed to try to catch back up to the field before they go back to green. Really amazed just what iRacing did to try and put this race together to be able to put this track on the iRacing platform. It's really just an amazing scan.
Yeah, it's amazing also how fast they got it into here as well. It really is cool.
Now, my understanding is, I could be completely wrong, but I heard that they were able to get this put together, and they did it in combination with NASCAR to give the drivers a chance to preview this track. That's what I heard.
Yep. It really, I mean, it just goes to show, I mean, it costs a fair amount of money to be able to scan one of these tracks as well. And a lot of effort from the iRacing crew, so obviously, give them props to them. As pace car lights are off, so this will give Shearer time, Brown, Peters, all these guys, heck, they got a boogie if they want to get their lap back. But yeah, you got a lot of time to do it. Obviously, everybody else still moving under pace speed, so everybody should be able to get their lap back pretty quickly.
Yeah, number of drivers just pulling out: Christoph Hall, Brian Jones, Aaron Jackson. A couple drivers still on pit road. Sammy Harrell and J.R. Houston are on pit road, as is John Ledger. Maurice Burnett is out, as well, as these guys are going to race this field back to try and catch back up, which they should have no problem. Because in effect, they're going to go, and then the field still has to make its way all the way back around. They're right now the main, what you see from the Logan Clamp, but those guys are just getting past turn 3 here. All right, just 2 cars remain in the pits, the 43 of Sammy Harrell and the 20 of J.R. Houston. Again, we have had 3 retirees: Bostic, Herschel, and Lucas. And now J.R. Houston's finally getting out of the pits. Logan Clampett leads the field past Carrier Corner. As they work their way through a rather gentle through turns 5, headed towards 6 and 7 on the back of the track.
really is crazy how you can go grab a bottle of water and we've only gotten through 2 more turns under pacing. But yeah, looking forward to see what Wood and Clampett can do here. They had a really good battle for a couple laps, but now that we're bunched back up together, Walker Thomas gained a good amount of spots on pit road, about 2 he got there. And he's sitting back in the 4th place spot here.
Yeah,
he's got a good opportunity.
Let's bring up the biggest movers, biggest gainers so far. J.R. Houston up 10 positions, back on the lead lap, sitting in 15th. Aaron Jackson plus 8, he's up to 14th. Bud Shearer up to 19th. David Watts plus 7, and Marco Berube plus 7. All right, so the field's making their way down through into turn 12 here at the home stretch, as we're about to take this field back to the start-finish line and get this back underway. Those drivers who were chasing down are almost caught up to the field. Chuck Van Scoyk in the 23 is right there as he's racing back to the field. Sammy Harrell kind of caught the cut that corner a little bit, but under a pace lap, not so difficult to make up that time. See, the 23's got a little bit of nose damage there.
Just a little bit, and obviously the leader has some nose damage as well. He got it there coming off of, I believe it was right here actually, come to think of it, just barely tapping the inside chicane wall. It shows you how close these guys are running, that's for sure.
All right, just a couple corners left, and our pace car will drop off, and we'll get this back underway. Again, it's a road course, so there's really no full course yellows. They work their way through that little chicane.
Here we go. Oh, big crash. Front straightaway. Thomas goes around.
Oh, someone's upside down. The 94 is upside down. The one's involved. Holy cow.
How on earth?
What the hell happened?
So Caldwell got upside down. He went off the front end of Thomas. He got squeezed by the 14. Wow.
We're going to watch this from Walker Thomas, his position here in the 1.
So from what I can tell, it looks like the 63 spun tires, saves it, loses it there. So around goes Thomas. Keep an eye out there.
Oh, the 94
There's
got
a 94.
pinched.
Yeah, look at the 14. Yeah, so 14 thought he had that lane. Couldn't get the squeeze there, and Maxwell Caldwell somehow ends up on his roof. And that might be the most interesting wreck I've seen all season.
All right, back up at the front, Logan Clampett and Matthew Wood have picked back up where they left off. They're running out there by themselves. Followed by Zach Lindgren and Jared Wishin now in third and fourth, with Andrew Pleshy and Kyle Smalling. All right, 17 laps to go here in The Andrew 125 race the base here in the IWM Cup Series. Right now, Logan Clampett out in front, Matthew Wood in second, Zach Lindgren sitting in third with Jared Wishin in fourth, and Andrew Pleshy in fifth.
Solid top 5 there. A lot of really good cars.
A lot of great racing. You've really got to be consistent here. That's one of the things that I personally struggled with road course racing. To be able to remember exactly where my corner entry is, what to hit as far as the apex goes, and how to drive back out on exit. You know, that's not me. That's not in my toolkit here. Whereas others like, you know, Clampett, Wood, Alessi, who have made road racing just look easy.
Yeah, and when I was in the endurance kart scene, it was really hard to kind of figure that out. But like I said, it was always really fun to figure that out.
Matthew Wood has kind of closed that gap a bit and was right on the bumper of Logan Clampett there. It's fun to watch what this IWM regular is able to do here with an ace like Logan Clampett.
Yeah, and one thing I don't know how I missed it. We continue to stay green here after the flip from the 94 of Caldwell, so we'll remain green here. Clampett is really starting to put the hurt on here. I mean, you can just see from there. There's not even an atom of space between Clampett and the wall. That's how accurate the driver of the 67 is here. He is really starting to show this field what he's got.
Yeah, already 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds back over third place Lindgren. As this field begins to separate, you can see that the gap from Zach Lindgren there. Then further on back to Jared Wishin. He is sitting, almost 6 seconds back from the leaders. Looking for some battles back here as well. You see Kyle Smalley in the 51. He's got his hands full with the 63 of Keith Tripp was involved in that incident. So I'm not sure just exactly what damage he may have on that 63 machine. See some right front damage. .43 machine of Sammy Harrell now finds himself in the pits. Back through the field. Oh, Christoph Hall takes that corner really wide.
Whoa. Just a bit outside there.
Wow, it's the 14 of Michael Anthony to kind of really close that gap, and that's Brian Jones right there. These three drivers battling. That's all for the 10th position. Further on back, you see Chuck Van Scoik. He's got the 55, I think, right behind him. That's Brad Peters. Brad's a lap down, but he's right there. Then there's J.R. Houston. J.R. Houston finds himself in 14th. He is now plus 11 positions. Further on back, see this battle. This is the 46. That's Jeremy Brown and the 12 of Aaron Jackson. He kind of cut that corner a bit.
He'll definitely get a slow down there.
Yeah, he'll be given a slowdown penalty. Won't hurt him. We'll just have to close it. And really, when you're back there struggling like some of these drivers are, that slowdown penalty is really just going to be, just make it around. Walker Thomas, after that incident, who was caught up in that He is now all the way back in 17th. He started at the top 5.
Yeah, if we end up getting a caution, I'd love to talk to the driver of the 94 of Caldwell, who is still on the racetrack in 20th. I mean, that just shows you how hard these guys are, how hard these guys are willing to race. He's still on track. He's still on the lead lap, especially. It takes a lot of effort to do that, and he's just going to lay it all out there. I mean, if the car can still run, he's going to run it.
Absolutely. He is officially the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, Sammy Harrell just pulled on to pit road as well. He's been on pit road for a little bit. And driver of the 43 machine. Don't quite know what kind of damage he sustained or what he would have gotten it from. But he's on pit road. Back up in front. Logan Clampett. Amazing job here, but that gap has gotten down a little bit. It was just 0.8 of a second now. Gotten it down to 6.
Yeah, Matthew Wood's not giving up and rolling over. He is right there trying to find a way to get around that 67. And if nothing else, he's letting that 67 take him to score. You can see this from inside. You can hear the revs jump, but when that car runs over that little bit of that bump where they get all 4 tires up in the air. Matthew Wood continues to, right there, he's shadowing that 67 pretty tightly. Really, if you're going to win this race, it's not here on lap, 18. It's really being there at lap 30. So there's still 13 laps to go. Watch these drivers battling. Contact with the safer barrier with the 67.
Still making contact.
I don't know.
Wood is driving this race car. I mean, he is just leaving it all out there.
Doing everything he can to stay right there on the tail of the 67. Now, Matthew Woods had a heck of a season so far this year.
Yeah, 5 wins. I mean, you really can't, say anything more than that. I mean, it's 5 wins. He's still searching for 6, second in points. I mean, that's got to light a fire under you. You really there get these points, and that's why he's running so well right now. He knows he's got a good chance and a good shot at the championship here as we head down to the chase.
Yeah, good showing tonight. And then again, next week they'll be at Sonoma, another good road course. See how it goes. But here we are here at Coronado with the IWM Cup Series. Right now, Logan Clampett out in front. He is in the 67, substituting for Pete. Drawing a blank on Pete's last name. Forgive me, Mr. Tart, as I forgot your last name there for a moment. All right. Logan Clampett continues to lead right there. Matthew Wood in second. He is right there on his tail. Zach Lindgren in third, a little bit farther back. About 10 seconds behind these two leaders. Kind of all by himself there because he's got about 7 seconds between himself and Keaton Tripp now in the 63.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that a little bit farther back and 11 seconds back from second and first is a little bit, but I got to give it to Zach Lindgren. He's done a great job in that third place spot there. He's really taken advantage of it. He's got a really good gap to Tripp as well. He's about 6 seconds ahead of the 63 machine. So a really good run for Lindgren. Right now he's just getting laps in, trying to find any time that he can. I think these front two here are just so fast. It's going to be really hard to catch up to him without a caution. And even then, they've just been so great all day.
All right, Keaton Tripp in the 63, currently sitting, as you said. Let's get the Delta, see if we can bring up options that we have here. Just take a look at lap times. So just about a second or so back behind, last lap here between Keaton Tripp and the leaders. But Keaton Tripp currently sitting in fourth. Back up front, Logan Clampett out in front, and they're about to come up to a lapped car. I think that's the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell, who we got a good shot of the aerodynamic cover to the underside of his car in that restart.
Yeah, it really goes to show the got a really good aero lesson there. We're getting to see the 94, but no, I got to give it to the driver. He's really stuck with it and keeping on the lead lap. It's definitely hard to race a car on iRacing after it's been flipped, but he's still staying out there. And yeah, just look at Wood there and the 94 machine. It's a really good shot of just how much air these guys are getting here. And you look at Wood, his brakes are getting pretty hot there.
Yeah, there a lot of fire coming from those rotors here as they dive into these corners. All right, just 10 laps to go here at Coronado as the IWM Cup Series race the base here in San Diego. Back through the field a bit. Andrew Pileshi back here, currently sitting in 7th. He's got Kyle Smalley in front of him as they are working on the 17 of Jared Wishin. That is 5th, 6th, and 7th here amongst these three drivers battling for positions. That's really three teams that have been battling pretty much all season. Elite Motorsports, Balls Out Racing, and 1320.
Yeah, those three have all been in really close contention, and it looks like Balls Out started to pull away with it, and then Elite Motorsports started turning the heat up, and then 1320 started turning the heat up as well. It's been an awesome battle to watch between these teams. They've done an amazing job, and no doubt about it that these guys will continue to get better and better as the season goes on.
Yeah, solid racing from all these teams tonight. coming out here really for a track that is, well, brand new, you know, that no one's really run on before, whether that was the Cup Series or here on iRacing. A complex track. It is somewhat, you know, you look at like Coda, for example, similar length when it first came out on the series, but perfectly smooth, built for F1. You know, just a really technical track, yes, but the surface was like glass. And then you have the Chicago street course that came out, a little bit shorter, but you know, just as bumpy. And then you have this, kind of like the combination of the technicality that we saw in Coda with all the variables thrown in for one of these street courses.
Yeah. And obviously, you know, you just mentioned it. This place obviously not anywhere near built for racing, which makes it so tough and makes it one of the things I love about street courses is just how tough they are, and really takes a certain kind of driver to be good on one of them. Watching the battle here for the 5th place spot, that's Wishing, Smalley, and Paleshi. Those guys battling it out for 5th, and a really tight field back here.
Yeah, this is 3 separate teams. Elite, Balls Out, and 1320 right here. The big teams that are battling all season long right here. They're kind of fearless leaders out here. All right, popping back up front for Logan Clampett, who has kind of separated himself from Matthew Wood. I think going to get around. Well, wait, let's go back. I think Matthew Wood may have. You can see something here, a little bit of telemetry here. Trying to see, watch the 21 here.
Oh.
Yeah, locks it up.
Coming in hot. He got super lucky that wasn't worse.
Yep, rare error for the 21 there. But unfortunately, what that cost him was time, nearly 7 seconds between himself and Logan Clampett. We talked about this before. The challenge it is to replicate the same result every single lap, every single turn, every single combination of turns. Super hard to do.
Yeah, and it's still a long race, like you said, but obviously these guys still have 8 laps to go. Try and get it done here, and that's what Clampett's looking to do here. A 6-second gap, trying to cruise away with it, and looking like right now he just might be able to do it.
For that backseat, Matthew Wood out here kind of by himself, about 7 seconds back between him and Clampett, but between him and Keaton Tripp, he's got about an 11-second gap between the 3rd place driver Keaton.
Yeah, I know he's going to be kicking himself a little bit for sure. Really unfortunate that he was involved there, but definitely got a shot to try and get it back here. Still a long ways to go, but Clampett really pulling away here. Now has the gap up to 7 seconds.
Watching the 14 of Michael Anthony Balls Out Racing with that U.S. Navy painted themed car. Very really focused. Good shout out to that the military theme here. Matches this event. There are drivers involved in incidents here. Trying to see if we can go ahead.
Yeah, 14 took a big hit on lap 1, getting into the turn 1 wall, so he's still recovering from damage there.
Marco Ruby asking to be able to slow down a little bit here. But back up front, Logan Clampett all by himself, kind of running away with it here, nearly 9 seconds ahead of second place Matthew Wood. His biggest challenge here is as he's coming up, it'll be lapped cars. He's coming up now on the 46 of Jeremy Brown, putting Jeremy a lap down. The 15 cars still on the lead lap here with 7 laps to go. Really, the only person who could beat Logan Clampett is Logan Clampett. He makes a mistake, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to keep it clean here to the end. He's got 7 laps to go, and look at the gap, 10 seconds back, and that just shows you, obviously, Wood may have picked up some damage there, but he is leaving it all out here. He wants to get this one over with.
Oh, little loose there with the 67.
I mean, you just said it. The only person who can beat him is himself. Oh, Berube around there.
Yep, and he basically forced himself to head into the pits. But no, we're watching, you're right, we're watching the 67 now. He's got to keep it together. Now, I don't know. I mean, our math says they have to come back into the pits at some point, but with that long caution, I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure myself, and I don't know if do you still have the, yeah, gosh, that's going to be close. 11-second lead. I don't know if he can stretch that.
That's our guess, what we believe from a telemetry perspective, what that looks like. I don't know if that's the case, but again, that's our best guess. With 6 laps to go, whether that's even feasible, but we'll find out. Go back to Smalley and Pileshi here. They're battling together.
Good battle going on here. There's the 98 machine of Shear. So there's the 51 of 91. Pileshi, little bit of an issue there earlier on in this race. He finds himself back up into the top 10 and 6th. And boy, I tell you, it was a excellent win for him at Pocono last week. Really had to fight for that one. It was an amazing race overall. Very competitive, and it's looking like that here especially. It's been a competitive race if you're not in the top 2. Obviously, Clampett and Wood pretty much running away with it, but it still is pretty close looking through the rest of this field.
Trying to get a look at the sector times between these two drivers. Plus, you made up a little bit of time in the second part of this course, sector 2. Finds himself right back on the bumper of the 51 here. All right. Well, as they continue the battle, Logan Clampett may have some major front end damage here Let's go back and try to find out just what happened to the to your leader, the 67. We were focusing a little back farther in the field, but let's watch the 67 here by himself.
Looks
Yeah, right in
maybe
the
there.
big, yeah, big in the got major left front damage on that 67. He could be in some serious trouble there. With 5 laps to go, 67 has hit the wall pretty hard, but well, he's got 10 seconds, almost 11 seconds between himself and Wood, and taps the taper barrier there. Let's bring up the last laps here in the leader's lap. So he picked up 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at this point, though, he's built a look at the gap now, and then look at how many we have to go.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard to gain back all that time with 4 laps. He'd have to put on a miracle run here, coming to the last couple ones.
Oh, and at the same time, Clampett's got to make another mistake.
Yeah.
But the tents are falling off as we look back at these. You see the time on the tower. Now it's just under 9 seconds. Let's go back and see what's happening with Logan Clampett here.
Definitely looks like some toe damage.
Yeah, that car
that left front.
it's not seem to be handling like it has in the past. So inside that car, we can't tell from here, but certainly that alignment where if you're in the driver's seat, you've got a center line in that wheel. With that kind of damage, that wheel could be off to one side, and then handling could be significantly off on that 67.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of toe link damage in real life as well, and it gets super hard to drive your car when it's like that. It's very noticeable. It definitely takes an effect on the way you drive, and especially in iRacing too. I feel like it's over exaggerated a little bit in iRacing, but he's definitely feeling the effects of it. However, the gas back up to 12 seconds.
Yeah. He's going to have to make a major mistake or have a problem with the lap car for us to see anything happen here. Well, Logan Clampett continues to lead with just a handful of laps left to go here in the IWM Cup Series in the Andrew 125 Race to Base. These drivers, they're about halfway through this lap with just a couple laps to go. On board with the 21 here. He may also have some toe link damage. Trying to take a look and see just how he's going. Oh yeah, you can see right there he's going straight, but that wheel is off to one side. Let's see what we see from inside the 67. He's experiencing the same thing.
looks fine as wine.
Try to get up. No, look at that.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably just because he was going through that curvy section there. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely fighting that.
You'll see it more here. That car's going straight, but that wheel is pretty much cocked to the right there.
Yep.
So both these leaders right here are struggling to make it through here with just a handful of laps left here in San Diego. Those cars got some battle wounds on them as they have just absolutely had to dig it out.
There's 2 laps to go, but it is far from over. Still plenty of time to go. Will he make a mistake here? Yeah, he is really driving that car. See if you can get a front view. Yeah, that front view of it. That left front not really looking too good.
Nope. And that's what we saw when we were inside riding along with Logan Clampett. We saw that steering wheel was kicked to the right a bit, and that's all because of that left front damage that's on the 67. Comparatively, we saw the same thing on the 21. He's got some right front damage as well, and that caused that wheel to also have a little bit of a kick to the left. As he is doing everything he can to close that gap. We saw 12 seconds. He's now down to 7.5 seconds between himself and Clampett. But unfortunately, time and laps are not on the side of Matthew Wood here.
No, and 67 machine gets by the 54 of David Watts. And Clampett has put the hurt on, and he's closing laps here. Gap may be down just a little bit. He's still got plenty of time. He's got 2 laps to go. Now coming to the white flag. And Logan Clampett, first start, looking for his first win here.
Matthew Wood down to 6 seconds or so behind the 67 of Clampett. Clampett's coming to the start-finish line and will get the white flag. White flag flies here at Coronado in the Andrew 125. Race the base. Logan Clampett out in front. Matthew Wood trying desperately to close that gap, but he needs a miracle for something to happen here to Logan Clampett for him to ever catch up. But kudos to these guys. This is a tough track.
It really is, and it's just a testament to show how long it takes you to get good at these road courses here. It's so difficult to, especially on iRacing, to figure this out. All road courses are different. It takes such a long time to learn them, and you really have got to take your time here. It's not a skill that is, like I said, very easily learned, and Logan Clampett here has put the hurt on here, but Matthew David Wood, he's cut the gap down now. I mean, this gap is starting to close a little bit here. It was just at 7 seconds. Now it's at 5.
Yep, with just half a lap to go. '21's doing everything he can to get there.
More than likely running out of time here as he makes his way through turns 9 and 10. Limping home is the 67 machine. He's been fighting for the last couple of laps. You can see the car there really trying to kick out from under him.
He's
trying to bring it home
together
for his first win.
Really, these two drivers, Wood and Clampett, have really set themselves apart from the field. Just a couple of corners left here as Logan Clampett brings this race home for the 67 and Pete Tart.
Pete Tart definitely smiling with this one as Logan Clampett rounds the final turn through turn 16. Logan Clampett dominates a Coronado, brings it home for his first career IWM Cup Series win. Matthew David Wood will finish second in the number 21 machine. Behind them, it's the 63 machine of Keaton Tripp in third, Zach Lindgren in fourth, and Andrew Pileshi fights his way back up into the top 5. And what a win for Logan Clampett. He will definitely be remembering this one as he is ready to burn it down at the end of turn 1.
Got a lot of traffic making his way around as he celebrates as the rest of the field makes it on by. But a great win there for the 67 of Logan Clampett, substituting for the 67 of Pete Tart. Also, shout out to Keaton Tripp as well, finishing in third.
Take a look here. And back-to-back road courses.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Pileshi there. Back-to-back road courses coming up. We'll have Sonoma, and then we'll head back to Chicagoland. May see Clampett another time here, but Wood finishes 4.8 seconds back, makes up a little bit of that gap. And he's definitely fired up for Sonoma next week, knowing he's got a chance to make it 6 wins on the season.
All right, we're still waiting for the final results. The challenge that we face here in the booth is that we actually have to wait for everybody to make it across for us to get the final official results. Right now, these drivers are still racing hard on the field as we head back and look back to 13th. This race is still going on for these drivers.
Crossing the line. There's the 23 of Van Scoik.
There we go. Now we've got some results.
There we go. Unofficial results coming in. Both of those drivers are done. All right.
Go ahead.
Let's take you through your top 10 here. Logan Clampett pulls off pole at fastest lap and the win tonight. He'll take the Triple Crown. Matthew David Wood will finish second. Keaton Tripp in third. Zach Lindgren in fourth. Andrew Pileshi in fifth. Kyle Smalley in sixth. Justin Lewis in seventh. Jared Wish in eighth. Christoph Hall in ninth. And Brian Jones rounds out the top 10.
Michael Anthony finishes in 11th with Walker Thomas in 12th. Chuck Van Scoik in 13th with Aaron Jackson in 14th. J.R. Houston in 15th with Maxwell Caldwell in 16th. Bud Shearer in 17th. Brad Peters in 18th. David Watson 19th. And Jeremy Brown in 20th.
21st is John Ledger. 22nd is Jordan Weaver. 23rd, Marco Berube. 24th, Roberto Ramirez. 25th, Sammy Harrell. 26th, Maurice Burnett. 27th is Ty Bostic. 28th, Casey Herschel. 29th is Aiden Lucas. And rounding out the rest of this 30 field.
That's it. That's all of us.
That's it.
All right, again, Logan Clampett wins. Hard charger goes to J.R. Houston, who picked up 10 spots in his charge today. But it was all Logan Clampett. Most laps led, fastest lap, and pole. And the win goes to the 67.
Domination by Logan Clampett.
Well, I don't think we've got, I don't see Logan Clampett anywhere, but let's go ahead and grab Keaton Tripp in the booth. All right, there he is. Keaton, congratulations on your P3 finish here.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you? Congratulations on your finish.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about, this is just a tough track overall, but give us some of your thoughts about today's race.
It was a blast, and I just want to apologize to everyone involved in my wheel spin there on the final restart from third. I started in first on the first restart of the race and went fine, and I was on the left side, and there I restarted on the right side, and I went over that hump. And I started in third, that bump, or on first gear, and it just spun, man. I couldn't save it at all, and it just snapped. And, it gave me some wheel damage, and I thought I was screwed from there. And I think I fell back to like 10th or so, and clawed my way back to a podium. So it just sucks though, because I really wish I didn't do that, because I think the leaders got together. So if I could have just stayed close to them, I knew I had nothing for them on speed, but if I could have just stayed close to them, maybe I would have had a shot tonight. So it was still a fun race though.
Yeah, no, still great finish. No anything?
Yeah, just obviously you came up from fourth there, but take us through what it took to rebound there from that spin. Obviously, trying to come back. Obviously, tough to recover from something like that, but you still managed to pull it through.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult, and yeah, I was just pretty much putting qualifying times in, just running it as hard as I could, and hoping the tires would stay together to maintain what I was getting back. And yeah, we got back up there and started pulling away from fourth pretty good. And yeah, the tires held on, and I was making tons of mistakes. I was just in the zone trying to set qualifying laps, trying to see if I could do anything to maybe catch second, or if anything happened to them up there. But yeah, I think I put it into the tire barriers and won one of the times. And on the last lap, my VR headset was fogging up because I was so damn sweaty from racing his workout, and hit the tire pack and spun myself out. So I almost threw away third when no one was racing me. So yeah, it was a blast though tonight, and this track is so much fun. So it was definitely fun.
Congratulations on your finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out Nathan Carroll. He's the one that runs this car normally, and he couldn't race tonight. So thanks to him for giving me the shot tonight to race. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
All right. Well, there's your third place finisher tonight. That's Keaton Tripp finishing in third in the 63. Keaton, we'll see you, and good luck to you.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Got it. All right. With that, let's go ahead and move and talk to Matthew Wood, who really did his darndest to trying to get around this track and compete up there. Matthew, congratulations on that second place finish. It's I would not be embarrassed to say I finished second to Logan Clampett.
Well, I mean, when you're Matthew David Wood and you're probably the biggest choke on iRacing every week, it's not typical or not surprising to me that I destroyed the car twice. Felt like I had better long run pace, and I was literally setting up the next lap to make the move for the lead again, and up the tire barrier, destroy the right front again, like I do every week. And then I was catching him again after he had that little incident there on, I think, lap 26, and then I completely blew the chicane and had to come to a stop, and that's what ended the race. So, just like I said, it's every time I have a shot to kind of prove myself to these big guys, I think back always to Connor Zilich's interview after the championship is when I guess the lights were too bright, and that's just every time I have a shot against guys like that. So, thinking to Outlier Speed Co. and make the best setups, in my opinion, on iRacing. I don't think I show their true speed nor their consistency, because I can show it for a little while and then I choke it. So I think to Goat Locker and everybody who supports IWM, I think Goat and Outlier both deserve better. But I mean, I'm not proud of the end, but I'm proud of the rest of the pace that we had. So it's always something to build on.
Well, you got the gap down there till about 4.8 seconds coming to the checkered flag there. Obviously, you go back to another road course next week at Sonoma. How does the end of that race kind of build you up towards going to another road course and hopefully looking for your sixth win this season?
I have no confidence at Sonoma. I hate that place with a burning passion. I don't know what it is. I'm trying my best to get better at Sonoma, but that is the one road course that I cannot and will probably not win on, because I hate that place so much for no reason. I just can't drive it. But I mean, I expect another podium, but I don't know.
Well, Matthew, we enjoyed watching you tonight. We saw those trials and tribulations that you had, but still, we were impressed by what you were able to do tonight. You're your biggest critic, but we're fans. So congratulations on your finish.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. That's. Do you have any more shout outs to make tonight before we let you go?
Of course, everybody. As well at Full Throttle Motorsports, we've been working hard with. I've been working hard with them, trying to get them better, as well as Fish Speed, Jordan Fisher, and all those guys that work over there. But again, just thank the Lord for the opportunity and thank Him for sending Jesus Christ for us. And just gotta be better.
Got it. Well, there's your second place finisher, Matthew Wood. Wishing you all the best for next week.
Thank you.
You got it. And with that, we'll go ahead and move our winner tonight into the broadcast studios. Logan, we haven't had a chance to speak to you before, but congratulations on your win tonight. Heck of a race.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take us a little bit back, once we got past that stage break and there was all that drama happening behind you, but what were your thoughts going into the second half of this race?
Well, I was a little concerned about fuel, so I was saving just a little bit at the beginning and a little bit of tires too, because I really tore them up that first run. So I tried to make sure to just keep the tires under me, and then saw Matthew hit one of the tire barriers that second run, which gave me a pretty good gap, and then I absolutely destroyed my car with 5 laps to go. I locked up the brakes into the Red Bull turn and, just absolutely destroyed the tires. I'm lucky I had such a big gap to Matthew, or else he definitely would have caught me. My car was absolutely destroyed, but I also destroyed the left front. Not destroyed, but damaged it for sure twice on lap 5 and 6 as well, which doesn't help at all. So, even if you're trying to go easy, you're just on the edge, it feels like, still at this track, and one little mess up and it can just destroy your race.
Yeah, this track combines the technical aspect of a road course with the challenges you face with an uneven street course. It's a challenging track to be successful on, but you pulled it off.
Yeah, for sure. It's a fun track. It's definitely very, very different. Very, very different. I'm usually typically not really that good at these kinds of things. Like, I'm sure the Coke Series guys can absolutely destroy me, or at least some of them. But thankfully, we were okay enough tonight, and I had that big gap at the end.
No, any thoughts?
Yeah, Logan, obviously, huge win for you tonight, your first one here in the IWM Cup Series. How hard was it to finish out those last, 10 laps there with that bent left front? We were watching it on the broadcast there. You handled it like a champ.
Yeah, the last 5 laps were really hard. I was about 4.5 seconds slower than what I should have been. But the left front, I was locking up into almost every single braking zone. So I had to back up the corners a whole lot, and I was still pogoing into the Red Bull corner, and I was just trying to keep it out of the tires, because I almost hit it the very next lap again, because I wasn't expecting to just pogo on into there with the left front. So I'm glad I didn't do that. Or else I think I would have lost that race.
Well, congratulations on your win. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah. Shout out to Jared. He was the one that messaged me, Jared Wishin. He said that his team needed a substitute. I think it was for Pete Tart.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thanks to him for having me hop in.
Well, congratulations on your win. Hope to see you again.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it. All right, that's your winner tonight here. Logan Clampett brings it home here at the at the Race the Base in Coronado in San Diego. Noah, really just a wonderful race here overall.
Yeah, definitely an interesting moment there with the 94 Caldwell going upside down. But other than that, it was a great race, very competitive throughout the field. And I tell you, I haven't seen a race like that dominated in a long time. Clampett just had the lead on lap 2 and just never looked back. And hopefully we'll see more of Clampett in this series. But this is really going to light a fire under the 21, I think. Obviously, you heard his interview. I think this definitely is a turning point for the driver of the 21. He's been strong the last couple of weeks. Obviously, didn't have the finish he wanted at Sonoma, but I'd keep an eye out for the driver of the 21 machine going into the next couple of weeks. He really is going to have some heat.
Absolutely. All right, so next week we'll be at Sonoma with the IWM Cup Series. Hope to see you there next Wednesday night. So I guess from Noah and myself, we thank you all for tuning in, and good night. We'll see you next week.